So my name's Katie Trano. I'm a third-year graduate student in the clinical psychology program at Oklahoma State University, and I am working with Dr. Mullins on the Pediatric Psychology track in the program. I have family in the medical field, and so just over time, hearing their stories and then learning what I was learning in school and kind of pairing those things together in my interests, it just made sense that this was a really good fit for me. And then once I came here for my interview and I saw how everybody got along in not only in our lab but in the larger program, I was like, this is a really comfortable place for me, that we're treated like colleagues, and Dr. Mullins gives his students the opportunity to explore different interests. We have a lot of really great support in that sense, and that was just what really hit home for me. I love that in the healthcare setting, pediatric psychologists get to work with professionals across a wide variety of fields, so that interdisciplinary team is just really exciting to me, to being able to partner with families and others to make sure that we're really maximizing long-term quality of life, and that you're able to do that on a one-on-one basis, but also through research and larger systems change. It's just really exciting to be able to do that on multiple levels.
My name is Carol Wong. I am a third year in the clinical psychology department in the pediatric track. So I completed my undergraduate degree at Kent State University, and then I actually did a 2-year post-bac at Cincinnati Children's Hospital. And looking around at the faculty there, I noticed that a lot of them came from OSU as well. So that's initially what got me to OSU, and then just coming for my interview weekend and meeting everybody, especially my mentor, Dr. Clausen, that kind of solidified that I wanted to be here. I would say the community that OSU has created in the psychology department is what motivates me and what keeps me going. Knowing that I have a cohort and friends that I've made in the department to kind of push me forward, and a mentor who supports me, and other faculty who also support me, is what kind of keeps me going. So from early on, I noticed a lot of disparities, whether that be in education or health, and I knew that that was something that I wanted to work to change. And so in doing lots of research, I really felt that psychology was the perfect avenue for me to kind of take my already natural skill set and my passion and combine it with science, and to use that to kind of drive the mission forward, or to address these different issues that I've been seeing. And so there wasn't one particular instance that was like, yes, this is my moment, but kind of a series of life events that kind of led me here. And every single day and every time that a client gets something that I've taught them, or a new study comes out and it's improving the lives, it just shows me that this is exactly like the field that I'm meant to be in, and it pushes me to pursue this even more.
So my name is Nathan Vasily. I'm going to be a second-year student in the clinical psychology PhD program here at Oklahoma State. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, and I went to Ohio State University for my undergrad, and from there I went to the University of Dayton, and I got my master's degree in clinical psychology. And while I was there, I got to work at Cincinnati Children's Hospital, and my mentor in the hospital, Anna Pai, she actually came here and she worked under Dr. Larry Mullins too. So Dr. Pai kind of pushed me along and said, hey, you should check out Oklahoma State. It's a great program. And I was kind of reluctant at first to check out Oklahoma. It was so far from home. But when I looked into things and then I met Dr. Mullins, I was like, yeah, this is a great fit for me, and the research lines up, my interests line up, and they're just great mentors here. But when I was 7, I was diagnosed with a congenital heart defect. And so what this means is just somewhere in my heart there was a defect that didn't grow correctly. And that was a shock for our family. No one really knew about it, even though it's so common. And after having 2 heart surgeries and kind of going through that whole experience, I really saw firsthand kind of, well, how is this affecting a family? But I really only saw one perspective of it. And I come to find out, these experiences I had kind of translate to all areas of pediatric psychology, that all of these families are having these experiences that I had, or some families are doing better, some are doing worse, but these overarching themes are present throughout. And so when I went to Dayton and I had this opportunity to work in the hospital, I said sure. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do pediatric psychology. And meeting the families there, it just really inspired me, and it's driven me since. It's just something that I'm very passionate about, because just seeing how these families adapt and cope, and just some might need that little bit of help, others are doing fantastic, and it just really inspires me to be able to be there and support them.
My name is Nicolerupi, and I am a rising fourth-year clinical psychology graduate student in the Department of Psychology, and I am a trainee in the Center for Pediatric Psychology. I am originally from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I came to OSU because I knew that this program had wonderful training opportunities, not only in clinical psychology, but as well in pediatric psychology, which was my primary interest. I really gained interest in pediatric psychology when I was working in a children's hospital before I came to OSU. And through that position, I really gained a better understanding of what it meant to work with children who had a chronic medical condition as well as their families. And so I think being able to work with the entire family unit and to help them adjust and cope with these difficult diagnoses and medical conditions was what really drew me to the field of pediatric psychology.
Hi, my name is Blair, and I will be a second year as a clinical psychology graduate student. So I am from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and I actually did my undergraduate here at OSU. And I decided to continue my graduate career here, not only because of its welcoming environment and because it's just so friendly, but OSU and in the psychology department actually has 3 pediatric psychologists working there. And so it's a great opportunity to collaborate among those labs, but also diversify my experiences as a graduate student. I always knew that I wanted to work with children. Going into my 3rd year of undergrad, I decided to join a pediatric psychology lab in the psychology department. And I immediately fell in love with it and fell in love with the research promoting healthy lifestyles among children and families. And pediatric psychology is an amazing opportunity to be able to support and better the lives of families and children with chronic medical conditions.